All right, hello everyone. Welcome back to the second worst podcast on YouTube. Uh, I'm your host as usual, Xavier, and here I have with me my co-host, Inspector. Say
Hey,
hello.
it's me.
Hiya. And
Yeah, it's me.
yeah, today we have a very special guest. You might see his video looping in the background while we talk about it. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hey everybody, I'm MB McLean, creator of the anime Mutant Busters, and a couple other things. I have an Emmy.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
I'll
very
say
good.
it's a
Fantastic.
very high
So,
prestigious guest we have here, as you can tell.
Thanks.
Uh, yeah, but today I
before
think
we
we.
before we talk about this, before we talk about this video specifically, I would like to ask you, so what's the name of your anime series again?
Mutant Busters?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, would you like to talk about it?
Yeah.
Sure. I made an anime called Mutant Busters. The first episode is on YouTube right now. It's got like a few minor issues with it, but I will be uploading a better version sometime in the next year. We're working on the next episode right now. We have about 6 episodes in total production. We just need more money to keep everything going. That's
Mm.
that's the main thing going on.
Right.
All
Is
right.
there a way for
So,
people
is it
to
like it's is,
give you money, like a Patreon or something like that?
Yes, we have a Patreon. People have given me money in the past, but so far people have only given me $200. So I've mostly been working to pay the anime crew to make the anime.
Right. Yeah. I'm not sure how much we could help you on that end, but we'll definitely put some links down there if you give it once you give it to us, so we can have
Sure,
everything
thanks.
settled up. Yeah.
if you
But yeah,
need
we
like a background artist or anything like any like storyboard, I could offer my services if you would like.
I'll think about it.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, let's get into it and why we have you here mostly. Uh, well, it's the video that we'll be playing for perceived future. It's the whole Will Urusei Yatsura 2022 episode 1, Save or Doom Japan. I think we initially found it I don't know, somewhere where we were looking at like various Urusei Yatsura related videos because that's like one of my main interests. And yeah, we just sort of became like a slight joke just for the thumbnail alone, which was just like, oh, it seemed like very very dramatic, and we were like, ah, that's funny stuff. But
Thanks.
Your Seance
hmm?
2022, Episode 1, Save or Doom Japan.
Yeah, just seemed like such
Only
an
time will tell.
apocalyptic. Yeah,
Yes, only time will tell.
yeah, and yeah, I mean, from what I've seen,
So,
it's gotten like some mild popularity among the younger people. Hmm?
and I don't know. It was a very interesting video.
Yeah,
You know,
A
it
I
lot
talked
of
about
things have happened since that video came out. Let's see. That video came out October 6th, 2022.
yeah, 2 years ago now. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, we're on
Think of how the world has changed since then.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like it's just yesterday, but then again, it also feels like it's been so fucking long since then.
Quite.
Yeah,
Yes, it has.
yeah, but man, I was gonna say something
so
and I completely
so
forgot. Go ahead, Inspector.
so in your opinion, did your Seyasura start the sexual revolution that was that you predicted? Did it do it or not?
No, it's just not quite as sexy as the original.
Yeah, I mean that's a big complaint I've heard a lot about the remake, mainly like episode one not having like lumps nipples. People were just like pissed off about that. Uh, I I have enjoyed the remake quite a lot, and I think it's a good like introduction to the
No,
series.
it needs the nipples. It needs the fucking nipples.
Yeah,
Okay?
you see
It's
that nipples
awful.
are an essential part of the story. Like fucking Oshi, who
Okay?
just insisted on putting the nipples in there. And
We need the 16-year-old, we need the 17,
yeah.
16-year-old's
Oh,
nipples on the big screen right now.
yeah,
Okay? There's no compromise.
yeah. No, we need to see the aliens' tits on screen. I mean, that's a very like Rumiko Takahashi thing to just have like the nipples showing on everything. Cause fucking Ranma was showing her tits half the time when she was a girl.
Yeah,
It's I
there's a
don't know. I
certain
don't
level
really
of
like.
realism in the 80s that seems to have been lost lately.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
I don't
we
know. I
kind
don't.
of
I'm not really fond of that. But if someone's into it, I'm not gonna, you
yeah.
know,
I mean,
judge
I
them
don't.
for that.
I think it's more of a product of the times rather than like being a proper fetish thing. Like yeah, I give Oshi a lot of shit, but that's cause he's kind of a piece of shit. um, but
Like lots of artists are dicks, but that's like the nature of being,
yeah,
very bitter and you just being married to your craft, I guess.
yeah.
Hmm.
But yeah, no, I think yeah, there was definitely a product of its time. The whole like oh, show the nipples of every girl you see and all this. I think it was like up until like the '90s that we stopped doing that. Uh, like when we started to digitize more anime, just like people did not want to draw nipples, I guess. Or
Oh
like
yeah, this part he's talking about. MB's talking about like the fat fetish and the furry shit. There should have been an episode where Lum gets like really fucking fat and like Atari's like, "Oh baby."
I mean,
Was there?
I don't
there's an
know.
episode where Lump thinks she's gonna turn into a cow, which is like I guess you could say it's transformation esque.
Yeah, but she
But
doesn't actually transform in that one.
yeah, yeah. That, there are some like weird transformation shit, I guess you could say, but it's like very early plans, like with Ray in particular, where he's just like, oh yeah, he turns into a cow, and you see like the whole the whole transformation process, especially like in the '80s, it was like more clear. Uh,
Actually, speaking of that, if you're
mhm.
caught up on the 2022 series, this week was the remake of the episode where the little fox tries to turn Shinobu into a fox.
Oh, that was this week.
Yeah,
Oh well, nice, yeah.
Oh
I
yeah, more furry shit. And what the fuck is going on in the background right now?
it's probably
that's
talking
just
about
some
commercial.
weird, sexy commercial.
Yeah, it's the it's a
They're selling gum.
yeah.
Okay, this is look.
Well, I mean,
Wow,
they're
it's
probably talking about the sexuality of the anime at this point. From what I recall, it's something like
yeah.
that.
Yeah, I forget what this was, but I just found like a bunch of weird, horny Japanese commercials.
Yeah, I mean, more than likely, you were probably like talking about the general horniness of Japanese media, which there is a lot of horniness. Like, no anime is really complete without a pervert in there or some girl getting molested or some shit like that. Like,
Yeah,
there's just
somewhat.
yeah, there's a lot of like
Yeah,
inherent.
where are the boys getting molested? That's why your Yachts is
Yeah,
awesome because
well, I mean,
Phoebe
you have
gets
Boku no
molested every
Pico
episode.
for that.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
more male representation, I guess.
yeah,
Hmm. There was a weird show I was watching on Netflix recently. It was like a Japanese drama. I think it was called like Extremely Inappropriate in English.
yeah.
It was basically a parody of Back to the Future about a teacher who time travels from the 80s to now and then complains about all the woke shit.
Damn.
Well, that
Uh,
sounds really stupid.
yeah, I mean,
It is, and every episode has a musical number for no apparent reason.
Whoa, it's like Hazbin Hotel.
This is true.
yeah, it's literally Aspen Hotel. It's incomparable. No, it's not incomparable. I mean,
Yeah, we saw the main character's nipples on the first episode of Hazbin Hotel.
yeah,
Wait, was that a thing?
no,
I don't
he's
know.
just making it up. The
Oh,
first episode was like on YouTube or something, I don't think they would show full on titty in there.
Yeah. Hmm.
Uh,
They showed a rape scene.
This is true. That
implied,
did happen.
implied.
Strongly implied.
Yeah,
There's something
what?
else that happened recently that made me think, oh, something's off in the world.
Mhm.
What
Yeah,
was
what's
it?
that?
It had to be something old. Oh, right. Some people were talking about Berserk having a lot of rape scenes.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, those are mostly in like the very beginning. I don't think they really did it like later on. There was just a lot of them
Hmm.
in the beginning because it's meant to show you like, oh, all these people are evil. They're fucking terrible. Uh, and what a better way
I
of
don't know,
showing off on this than rape, killing, all that. So you have shit like in
like rape,
JoJo where you have little dogs
like
dying and
rape.
all that.
Oh yeah, look, the fucking My Hero, whatever. Yeah, Pepe Le Pew.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, probably at this
don't
point
see
you're
that
talking.
character anymore.
Yeah, you're probably talking about the pervert archetype that like Ataru sort of started.
If
So I,
If Mineta or whatever the fuck his name is was French, it would be okay. Teenage girl.
yeah,
Yeah, French still have like some level of perversion on to them.
yeah. I mean the French are perverts in
Mademoiselle.
general. Yeah, what else was I gonna
John
say?
Paul Sartre's wife. Don't look up John Paul Sartre's wife.
Yeah.
Who?
Oh man, I forgot.
Okay, basically, there's this philosopher called John Paul Sartre, and his wife was a pedophile.
Oh, Sartre.
Star Trek.
Yeah, I can't pronounce anything. Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
a girl, but women can't be pedophiles. It's impossible.
Oh, you see, the teacher raped the student. He's very lucky. Not
Hold on, I'm
thinking.
trying to remember what the deal was with Sartre's wife. I used to know this one. It's just been a few years since I've heard it.
Hmm.
Uh,
What was the name of John Paul Sartre's wife?
she supported adolescents and like,
Yeah,
children
yeah,
being
Simone de
insulted.
Beauvoir.
Yeah, and that was kind of the norm like around the time of just like dating your cousins and teenagers and all that shit. That was just like,
No, she those ideas like persisted like in the 70s, and that's when like
yeah,
I don't know. She was It was really backwards even for her times. And she
yeah,
was supposed to be like in a movement of like French existentialist thinkers that were very progressive that were beyond, like old, institutions like racism and like
mm,
sexism, stuff like that. But like I
yeah,
don't know.
yeah,
Like being a very progressive thinker but then having like a really fucked up backwards opinion like, oh, but children should be married at 9 years old. Like, I
yeah.
don't know.
That I mean that tended to happen a lot with those like free love movements. It was just like an excuse for pedophilia, which was stupid. But yeah, no, no.
It's
Hmm? Go
Well,
ahead.
the Taliban loves anime because they let me marry the 12-year-old.
Yeah, I, I mean Osama bin Laden did have like a lot of anime shit.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so, it's
Not surprised at all.
terrorists love it. Oh my god, what was I gonna say? Oh, yeah, yeah. Sort of switching gears back to the sort of video itself. I don't know if you say this in particular in the video, or if I'm misremembering because I do watch a lot of videos analyzing this, but there's this like narrative that apparently Lom was the first tsundere. Like I hear that all the fucking time. And it's like completely baseless. If you watch a single episode of the show, you know that she's not a tsundere. The fucking tsundere there is Ataru. Like, it's all it's
Yeah,
this thing.
that's a good point.
Yeah, it's the thing that
If
I've heard that,
anything,
hmm?
but I haven't heard that a ton.
Yeah,
if anything, Lum is a complete opposite of Tsundere
yeah,
because she shows open affection towards Ataru.
yeah,
To the
exactly.
point
Yeah,
that
she's
she,
devoted.
Yeah, she straight up just says
you
like,
know,
"Oh
like,
yeah, I love Ataru. I can't wait until like, oh, we're fully married and all that." And meanwhile,
like in
Ataru's
the
like,
theme song, it's like don't get all fidgety. It's
"Yeah,
like it's basically Lum singing about how much she wants to like basically grope Ataru. So
yeah." I mean, the whole like main catchy part of that, it's like Sukiya, 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 which just means like I like you. But yeah, it's like the whole point of the song is just her singing to Ataru. But again, like people keep
if
going
it
with the
was,
narrative that Lum is like, oh, the very first tsundere. It's like, no, she's not. If anything, Ataru is.
it's like if it was a tsundere, if it was like let's say Ataru was singing the song, it'd be like I fucking hate you, not really. I fucking hate you, not really.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you see it like
You know,
in the episode where like Lum has to leave to get her passport renewed. Ataru's just like feeling like shit through the whole episode. And then as soon as she comes back, he's like, oh, jeez. No, I'm not gonna say I'm relieved, but I was enjoying my time being alone. Meanwhile, like
Is that the
literally
one
just a
with
scene
the weird
prior, he was
gremlin thing?
crying. Hmm? What'd you say?
Was that the episode where Lum left for her passport? Was that the one with the gremlin?
The Gremlin? No, it was the one with the doll that had the microphone in it.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
let's talk about another episode and like I've talked to like people on the Urusei Yatsura server, but
Hmm.
suppose they don't like this episode, but it's like the Miss Tomobiki one, and you told me about it, Xerox, where you said that the people that were supporting Ran were just a gigantic group of pedophiles.
Oh yeah, that was in the original, if I remember. It was like, oh yeah, this is Rand's support group. They're also a bunch of pedophiles or something like that.
Because
Uh,
you told me it was because Ran has like she's been abused so much physically and emotionally that she has like the mindset of a child. So like people that are attracted to her are just closeted pedophiles.
yeah, yeah. I mean, you can definitely argue with that. Like, definitely in the episode where she's introduced, you see her like go through all this shit of getting like blamed for peeing in the bed and getting like just spanked by her mom all the time, and it just shows you like how petty she is, and you could definitely see the argument for uh her having some sort of weird mental regression. Uh,
But
yeah,
who should be Miss Tomobiki? Should it be Lam, Ran, Sakura, Shinobu, or
yeah,
Renosuke?
yeah. I think it was like Lom in the end that won. And of course she did.
But in your opinion, who should it be?
I mean, I personally I have my bias with Ryonosuke, but that's just because I love her uh, a lot. I like tomboys in general.
Okay, the real answer is Soban, but whatever.
Yeah, yeah. Someone, the pedophile that was in there for like 3 episodes.
He's like Shinobu, I fucking love you.
Yeah, that's the
Hmm.
big-lipped guy with tiny glasses. For those at home. But yeah,
Nah, the sexiest character is Cherry.
yeah, yeah. I mean, arguably he gets the most attention. Yeah, I find that funny that like various characters got very popular in the anime when they were supposed in the manga when they were supposed to be like one-offs. Like Lum is like the most famous one. She was literally just supposed to be a one-off character from the first episode or first volume, and fans just loved her so much that she was Rumiko Takahashi was just like, all right, let's add a bunch of let's add her to all the stories basically. And she just became like a secondary character, and the whole series became revolved around her and Ataru. And, initially it was
Have you ever
supposed to be
read the second chapter of the manga?
second chapter of the manga, the rain one.
No,
The
the one with the gremlin in it again.
uh, which one was that? I can't recall.
So what happens in the manga is so because Rumiko hadn't figured out that Lum was the popular part, in
Hmm.
the second chapter, it's like a fight between Ataru and Shinobu and this gremlin.
Oh yeah, yeah, the
And
little
then later
mirror
on in
guy.
the anime, they adapted that as like episode 8 or 9,
Yeah,
and they
yeah,
just had Lum be afraid of the gremlin so she could leave and do the manga plot.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember that. Yeah, yeah. Because yeah, I'm thinking of chapter three. That was the oil one. That was the one that was adapted into episode two in the original uh
Yeah, they went
anime.
straight to the oil rain situation, the taxi driver thing.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
gremlin
They've
was
always
me.
played with the order of the these chapters, and people complained about it in the remake as if it was like anything new. Like I think episode three is like Ten's introduction, and he's not introduced in the.
Well, the remake just seems to be picking things at random so they can get what they want faster.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's supposed to be a highlights reel. Like from the very beginning,
Well,
they said like, oh, this is supposed to
kinda.
be like a highlights reel, like it's best of and all that.
Well, also they added like Ryunosuke into the mix hella early.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they had a Ryunosuke 10's pretty early. Mendo is like episode three or some shit. When Mendo comes
No,
in way
actually,
later.
10 came in later than everything else.
Yeah,
10
10.
came in late.
Well, yeah, in the manga, he was like near the end of the manga, if I remember.
No, I mean the 22 version brought him in way later
Oh,
than the other versions.
oh yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. Yeah, I don't really remember 10 mostly because I hate him so much. I try to block him out of my head. Uh,
Yeah,
but
but once he like comes in, he really throws off like the balance. I
yeah,
think that's one reason the 22 anime tried to hold off in introducing him.
yeah, yeah. He's a
Uh,
beloved character
um,
for some, I guess, but God, he's just like so awful.
I think Lum should be more evil.
Yeah, they did tone her down in the anime again, just like they did in the original from the manga. Where in the manga she was just like fucking evil as hell, very petty and shit. Which they did
It
have
reminds me
some of
on
that
how
in the remake, but you know, a
pe-
lot of it was still like toned down. What were you saying,
people
Spectre?
on Twitter, like for example, like Lupin, like people on Twitter when they see like when they read like the old manga, like the Lupin fans on Twitter, they're like, "Oh my God, Lupin is a horrible, disgusting, unforgiving person." I'm like, yeah, it's kind of a point. Like you're talking about like an international gangster who robs and kills and cheats and just is just a horrible, disgusting human being.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's also like
I don't
again
know.
products of its time, like something very artistic. Monkey Punch himself, he was just very much an artist who just liked to be controversial, and he liked drawing big boobs and all that. Like that one clip, like showing a lot of the soy Monkey Punch. That straight up, like right after that, he's just going like. The girl's going like, "Oh, Mr. Monkey, why did you draw my boob so big?" And then he was like, "Oh, yeah, it's Mr. Monkey's favorite activity." But yeah,
Eh,
he's a pervert and he knows it. It's not like those other guys who try to hide it. Or like, "Ooh, I'm a wholesome guy," or whatever. No, he's just like, "Yeah, I'm a sick fuck. What about it?"
Monkey punches Kanye. He's like, I'm a sick fuck. I like good fuck. Whoa.
Yeah,
Hmm. Soy monkey. I don't know. Let's talk about oh yeah, you rewatched the third year Sayatra movie, right, MB?
Yes, since you guys asked me to do that, I did that. It was fun.
Well, you didn't have to, but it was just a
It's okay.
suggestion. But
yeah,
I don't know. I like the movie a lot. It's very like Urusei Yatsura is already strange in its nature, but I don't know. This movie was extra strange, and I like it.
Yeah, I mean, it was.
I just felt
Yeah, the
out
third movie, I
Yeah,
just felt like it was trying to be
I
weird.
saw all the movies back in LA in a film festival like 10 years ago, so I'm a little hazy on all of them. But it took me like an hour to remember this is the one where he turned into a hippo.
Yeah, that happened like in the very beginning.
It was more in the middle.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's a good film, but I still love the second film, Beautiful Dreamer. The one where they're like
Yeah,
trapped in the
everyone
dream.
loves Beautiful Dreamer. That's the
Yeah,
only one I own on Blu-ray.
yeah,
It's
no,
also the only one I pretty much can remember start to finish.
mm,
All the other ones are basically like hazed out in my brain.
yeah. I mean, it's
I
also like the
like you.
most. Hmm?
I like. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Okay, I was gonna say that the reason I like Beautiful Dreamer is because I'm a sucker for existentialist films and like some of my favorite films, like any I think any genre can like fit in with existentialism because I watched like Once Upon a Time in America and I assumed it was just gonna be a a gangster film, but no, it's a very existentialist you know film. It's not really more about like, oh, look at these amazing, because most gangster films glorify like the life of it. But no,
Mm,
it's just showing that these are just a bunch of horrible people, and you shouldn't really feel bad for them because yeah, they grew up poor, but at the same time, like lots of people grow up poor and they don't become
mm,
horrible, disgusting criminals and commit horrible acts toward innocent people.
mm,
But in like a Beautiful Dreamer, it's like it's a very because I showed it to a friend and like, he liked it. He liked the like the dream aspect of it, and it's just like it just makes you question reality a little bit, I guess. And I just it's just like a novelty, I guess.
yeah. I mean,
Hey, you guys would probably care about this. I haven't watched it yet, but I just bought Fast Food Grifters, the movie.
I, I have. I don't
Do
think
you
I've heard
guys know
of
what
it.
that
Oh
is?
I
no,
haven't.
but I'm interested.
Yeah, then go ahead and tell us about it.
Okay, so I don't know which episode it is, but Fast Food Grifters starts off as an episode of Ursa Yatser in the 80s.
Hmm.
It's one of the later episodes. It was directed by Mamoru Oshii. And
Right.
there's just like an episode of Ursa Yatser where they just drop everything and talk about the fast food grifters, who are these people who steal fast food.
Right.
So then, have you guys ever seen the Red Spectacles?
I don't think I have seen it, but I have heard of it a bit.
Okay, have you seen Jinro?
Jimro. Yeah, I did see it like years ago.
Okay, so Jinro is like a serious, mind-blowing movie about the Kerberos Panzer Corps.
Hmm.
But then, like, if you watch the Jinro trilogy, the two live-action movies, Red Spectacles is a borderline comedy movie starring Shigeru Chiba. And then Stray Dog is like this existential, cheap ass movie that Oshi made so he could get a free trip to Taiwan. Like half of that movie is just him on vacation in Taiwan, filming
Right.
shit on his vacation. But anyway, so back to Red Spectacles.
Hmm.
In the middle of Red Spectacles, just like there's one Urusei episode, for like about 20 minutes, they drop everything and just talk about the fast food grifters again. So then I'm not sure where the hell it came up again. But anyway, eventually Oshi finally made a movie just about the fast food grifters. And I
Right.
bought the movie on Blu ray like last week, but I haven't watched it yet.
All right. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that does sound a
That's
lot
actually
like what
that's
Oshi would.
very it's very interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
That sounds like exactly something Oshi would do because he loves his references. He loves just showing that he's seen movies and all that, and a lot of a lot of the original series was just like, oh, let me throw in this random reference in the background or in the foreground, or let me just make it
Yeah, but this wasn't
front
like a
and center.
random reference. This was more like he pitched the movie in an episode of Urusei
Oh, like a
Yatsura,
backdoor
and
pilot.
then he pitched it again in another movie. And now he finally made the movie.
Ah, I see. So
That's amazing.
is it a recent one?
That is amazing. Came out 2006. I just saw it.
2006. All right. Yeah, cause
Yeah, but the Blu-ray like just came out, well, at least in America.
yeah, 'cause I tried watching one of Oshi's like newer things. It's called something like Vlad Dating. It's like a vampire Yuri basically, and it was horrible. It was really awful. Like
Don't get me wrong, like Stray Dog is a really, really difficult movie to watch.
hmm, yeah.
I
Uh,
love Moroshi, and I don't.
yeah,
I don't know. I like it when when a something dipshit director just has a bunch of references because that's the way that I operate. Just
yeah.
just referencing a bunch of bullshit that I like and just putting it in my stuff.
Oh, I just found it. So the episode that pitches Fast Food Grifters is Urusei Yatsura episode 99.
Oh, oh, that's funny. I think that's around when he left actually. Like he left close to the one episode 100. It's like 100 something. It's like more or less halfway through the series. Oshi and Rand's
Oh,
original voice actor leaves. Yeah,
I,
for a
I
variety of
see
reasons.
the stormtroopers work at fucking McDonald's basically.
Hell yeah. Oh man.
Oh, and they have Wendy as a Wendy's logo. Huh? That's so fucking funny. Remember when they had Wendy from Peter Pan and Years of Yatra? Wow.
Yeah, yeah. Vlad Love.
I
That's
guess
that's
so.
the one I was thinking of. The Oshi's works. It's terrible. There's really like nothing of value there. I remember I heard about it.
Which one?
Huh?
Which one?
Vlad Love, like Vlad the Impaler. The vampire guy.
Never heard of it.
It's oh she's like newer things. I remember I saw I found out about it because of Hazel. I don't know if you know her. She's like another YouTuber
Nope.
that does interesting like obscure anime or weird little aspects of like early 2000s culture. She just does like analysis on that type of shit and talks about it.
Gotcha.
And she
You should
mentioned
go her on.
I don't know if she would want to be on. Quite frankly, she's a very reserved person. Uh, but regardless, I heard about it because of her, and she put like Lum in the thumbnail. So I was like, oh yeah, I gotta click on it because that I'm that guy. And yeah, she talks about Oshi for a bit and talks about like briefly mentioning like a bunch of shit that he was really good at, and then she talks about the series itself, which she just mentions like, yeah, no, it's really, really bad, relies too much on references, and often it just feels like it's Oshi stroking his metaphorical cock, being like, oh yeah, go ahead and you know, is he just references like all his all his favorite shit with like no tags like he had before. And then he gets pissy because people don't really like it, and he's like, "No, I'm a genius. I'm the smartest man. I revolutionized the anime and all that." When like, yeah, you made like okay, a
Did
pretty
you
good
see
adaptation.
it was years ago, but he made a movie about like a sand whale or something, a whale.
The which one?
Like
Oh,
he
I
made like
think
it's
I might
called
have seen it.
Sand Whale and Me.
Sandmail Me.
It's like five
Sand
minutes
Whale.
long, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
no,
saw that.
yeah, I haven't seen that one. I don't think. And yeah, I've seen like a few of his other works, like mostly Ghost in the Shell and all that. It's like anybody who knows Oshi has probably seen Ghost in the Shell at some point.
He
Uh,
directed a recent Lupin episode.
what, Oshi?
Yeah. Two of them.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah,
surprising. Yeah, I mean,
Hmm.
I'm
but
sure he's done
one of
some
the
good things. Hmm?
no, this was the first. His only time working on Lupin was he was drafted in the '80s to direct the third Lupin film, but basically the movie that was canceled. His
Hmm.
idea was to make an existentialist Lupin film, and basically
Yeah.
it would focus on Fujiko trying to find an angel skeleton in Tokyo,
Hmm.
and there would be like a little girl character, just hanging around, and
Right.
event and meanwhile Lupin's having an existential crisis because he's stolen everything that he could possibly steal, and he sees like he's depressed basically, and then
Yeah.
at the end, turns out like the little girl's like an angel or some shit. I don't fucking know. I forgot exactly how it went down, but basically, Lupin decides to steal reality, and like he nukes Japan, and that's how it ends. And
Oh.
then the studio was like, no, that's too weird, and
Yeah.
they ended up giving it to a porn director instead, a literal porn director, and
Hell yeah.
then. Well, I wouldn't say porn director. He made Pink films, which is like like it's not porn, but at the same time it is porn. It's very, like avant-garde porn basically. And then
Right.
he directed like The Gold of Babylon.
Mm.
Hmm.
Yeah. Uh, but yeah, no. I mean, that definitely sounds like another Oshi work because he has a lot of like really existential works. He's a damn good director. I just have a lot of like issues with the ways that he references stuff, and especially in interviews when he's talked about Rumiko Takahashi herself. He's been like, oh, she wrote the series through a woman's eyes. I made it through a man's eyes, which is the proper way to go, and all that. It's like, dude, shut up. The series would not be half as good if you did not have the source material. You are a fucking piece of
Oh,
shit.
yo, the incel and the femceller going at it.
There
Yeah.
was a really messed up Lupin movie, and I don't remember which one it was. I think it was one of the TV movies from the mid '90s. But
Mm,
Yeah.
there was this Lupin movie that completely just went off the rails and was about this completely different character doing this like random adventure. And then at like the last like 5 minutes of the movie, he ripped off his mask and revealed he was Lupin the whole time.
I mean, Inspector might know what that is. I haven't really seen all that much Lupin. Inspector's a
Uh,
Lupin guy here.
that happens a lot, and I'm like that happens a lot because like I want to round it up to it relates to Mamoru again.
Mm,
In one of the new episodes he directed for part six, like literally half of the episode is has no Lupin, no character, no anybody. Well, technically they appear, but it's not really that. So it's just he's he's adapting like the short story by Ernest Hemingway, The Killers, and like there's a bunch of like random references to other short stories that he
mm,
wrote, like Hills Like Elephants.
mm,
Another one I forgot. It begins with an A, but it's named after like a city in Spain. But
right.
yeah, and it's like the half of the episode is just about the waitress and the two hitmen, and they're just talking, just recreating the short story, and then in like the middle of it, like, oh, it turns out it's Lupin. So it's like it's nothing new. Like Lupin does like reuse material because I watched I watched part five, and then I recently watched Bye Bye Lady Liberty, which was the first Lupin TV movie,
Mm,
and basically in the in the TV movie, basically there's a kid who's like really good with computers, and he's like a genius,
right.
and he can like hack into stuff. And I'm like, oh, that's just that's exactly like part five with the girl who can hack into stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's
And like
the
and
movie they made while they were working on Tiny Toons at the same time.
yes, that's why the guy with the shirt has like the pink shirt and the yellow star, and that's why um the rabbit character in Tiny Toons also has a pink shirt with yellow star in it.
Mm,
Yeah, I saw that somewhere recently.
So it's like I don't know, Lupin, likes to repeat itself. It likes to reuse material. Like I like Lupin a lot, but I'm not against like pointing out like like them just reusing shit again.
Yeah, it's not a perfect series, but no series is perfect.
Yeah. Have you guys ever watched City Hunter?
I've heard of it a lot because of like I've been around like the 80s anime scene for a while, but I haven't seen it. I have definitely heard a lot of good stuff about City Hunters though.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's some good episodes. In a nutshell, every episode is like this horn dog assassin trying to like save a woman from something.
Yeah,
That's usually what it's about.
um, it's kind of like Golden Boy, what it sounds like.
A little bit. It's a
Yeah, less
little bit more
seinen.
action than that, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like the perils of Penelope Pitstop. Huh.
No, not like that.
I don't know, I was joking, but whatever.
Not good. Yeah, the
Uh,
other weird thing about City Hunter is almost so many different countries have remade it at this point.
mm,
And Japan is finally making their own live action version for the first time.
all right.
There's a Chinese version with Jackie Chan in it. There's a
For,
French version. There's a really, really weird Korean version.
mm,
Mm. Oh, speaking of live action anime, let's talk about the Jigen movie you watched because you told me it was ass. Huh.
Oh yeah. Um, there's a Jigen movie. It's on Amazon Prime. It's a sequel to the very bad 2012 Lupin movie. It's got the same Jigen actor. Lupin is not in it, but they really dance around implying he's there, especially in the ending.
mm,
Let me even remember what happened in that movie because I watched it like 2 months ago, and now I'm like hazy on like what even happened in it.
right.
Let me see.
Or Well, there's actually an Italian-made fan film of Lupin that's live action. And it's actually way better than the real live action movie that they made in 2014. But it's actually really good.
Mm,
And I
Yeah,
watched
well,
the.
my issues with like the 2012 Lupin is it's like a heist movie, but it's like I heard there was like some plagiarism allegations against it, and for the most part, it doesn't feel like a Lupin movie. It just feels like a generic heist movie with Lupin characters.
right.
The 70s Lupin movie though is shockingly good.
Mm,
No, it's amazing, and
Yes,
I don't
Panic
mind.
Strategy.
I don't mind. I don't mind the little changes about it because it's funny. It's great.
well,
Yeah, like the worst thing about it is just that Lupin doesn't wear the outfit.
yeah.
But and it's actually I think it's really. I don't know. Just like the I like the campy, half-ass attitude about it. It's like very irreverent, which Lupin should be.
Mm,
Yeah, plus it's got that 70s randomness that I'm into.
mm,
It's a My Hero Academia guy again.
yeah.
It's
I mean,
Lupin. It's Lupin. It's him.
the video is just looping as per your request.
I'm not complaining about it.
No, no, yeah, it's fine. It's just funny to see
You know
these.
what? Fuck you! Fuck you! You
I'll
piece of
kill you!
shit!
I'll
I
kill
didn't
you
ask you
right
to loop.
now! I'm gonna kill.
I didn't
You guys want
fucking
to watch
ask
my
you to loop.
anime trailer?
What's that?
You guys want
Yes,
to
we
watch my
can watch
anime
the
trailer?
anime trailer. Okay, you know what? Fuck you, Xerox. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired.
Just disappear and vanish into
Right?
thin air.
You're fired. Okay, I'm gonna get a new host. I'm gonna get shit. I don't have anybody. I don't have any other friends. Damn it.
Yeah.
That's it, buddy. You're stuck with me, fuckface. Well, yeah. What did
Just
he ask
watch
about?
the goddamn anime. Just
Uh,
go to his channel. We can find it.
which
It's
one?
literally at the top of my channel. You'll
Uh,
see it instantly.
let's see it. Videos. Which one of these?
Well, that way go down, 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 down. To the left,
Left.
to the left. That
Right.
up.
This
That.
one?
Yeah, trailer.
Dude,
Alright. Perfect. Yeah.
so how many people are
I'll get
working
the
on this?
shit
It's
out of
it's
there.
very high quality.
It's literally I have a guy named Ian who worked for Toei on My Hero Academia. Then it's just me and his daughter.
Oh wow.
So three people total, aside from the voice acting cast.
Right.
We have about like 12 voice actors in it.
Oh. And honestly, for like an indie project, this is like really well done.
Thanks.
It's
Uh,
it's way better than any of my shitty animations, but it's
Yeah.
really good.
And yeah, and we've had our first share of like seeing shitty animations, mostly with like a bunch of the older lost episodes that we kind of just got deleted after a while because we couldn't quite find the time to edit it. But we've seen like those really shitty total drama fan animations, and those sucked ass.
Yeah, I
It's
figured I could at least do better than something like that.
Yeah, like yeah, no, this is like
there's actually one. There's like there's actually one total drama shit anime fan animation that's actually like now a legit company now.
yeah,
And the thing is, what the funny thing is, it's literally two Costa Rican guys, and their animation's better than the Canadian show. It's just like really funny to me, like how like two random Costa Ricans can just make a high quality
yeah,
animation better than like a whole studio in like in a developed country.
yeah,
That's happened before.
yeah, and
There was like a guy who did like an Archer Bob's Burger crossover as like a fan film,
mm,
and I heard they like fired their crew and replaced them with him.
oh wow, that's surprising.
Fantastic.
Oh my god, I was gonna say something, but I forgot. Oh yeah, have you guys seen that Spider-Man fan film? I think it's called like, fuck, I don't remember what it was called
Spider-Man
now.
Lives.
No, no,
I
it's
don't
like
think that's it, but I know what you're talking about.
it's yeah, it's like this one that was like really well made. Like the guy who directed it was fucking crazy. He did all his stunts and shit.
Yeah, it
Uh,
was really well made, but the guy who made it was like a racist.
no, no, that's a different one. Spider-Man like
Oh, it's not
Lily.
the same one?
No, no, no. Crap. Now I gotta find the name of this. The one you're thinking it's called something like Spider-Man like Lily's Pad or some dumb shit like that.
Yeah, it had some stupid name like that.
Yeah, but no, the one I'm thinking of is like a completely different one that's like a pure passion project. Like this guy was like extremely passionate about Spider-Man, before it became like a big thing. And he had like a whole script written that he just sent out to like oh my god.
Stanley.
Huh? Yeah, to Stanley, and Stanley was like, this is really well made, but we don't have the money for it. So he was just, you know what, fuck it, I'll make it myself.
They,
And
they, they found they found the full film.
no, this is a different. I may be confusing it, but this is Spider-Man's Last Stand. That's what it's called. It's
Yeah, not familiar with that one.
no, yeah, it's a really good like fan project.
Was it made?
I
Was it
think
made in
it
the 70s?
no, it was made later. It's a Green Goblin
Hmm.
story adaptation. The one that you're
You
thinking from the
guys
Okay.
know about
70s
Legend of
is
the White Dragon?
which one?
Legend of the White Dragon?
Mm, I haven't heard that one. No, I don't think so.
It's the last indie project by Jason David Frank before he killed himself.
Ah,
But because he killed himself, it's been post production for like 3 years now.
right.
I guess they're trying to figure out a way to finish him with him being dead.
Yeah. And if that's the director, right? Yeah, the director's not there. I don't think there's much of a point of finishing. Just like send send it out there. I don't think there's a really good way.
Because
Like,
he died, they're getting
hmm?
it's getting a lot more hype than it would have otherwise.
Right.
So they're trying to like release it as like a legitimate movie now.
Right.
Hmm.
Um.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting when like lost media gets made like that, where it's just like, oh, suddenly this thing just disappeared out of nowhere because the guy died, or yeah, stuff like that. I don't know. I just find lost media in general to be very fascinating. Like that one film, the day the clown cried or something like that. It's like this one comedian
Oh
guy who
yeah,
dresses up as like a clown when the Holocaust is happening and all that. And I think
that's
we're
supposed
getting
to be
close.
released soon, isn't it?
Yeah, I think actually maybe next year.
This this year.
This year?
This year.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Oh, one of these days
And
we'll watch it.
we'll watch it together. But I will say it. I will say this. It
Hmm?
is not going to be the worst film relating to the Holocaust. Because the absolutely worst film about the Holocaust is this Italian film called Life is Beautiful, and it
All right.
has like this actor. I don't know the actor's name, but he looks like fucking Zach, dude. And if you don't know who he is, well, you know, you have to know. But he's like this curly haired old man,
I
and
mean Italian.
I hate Life is Beautiful. I hate Life is Beautiful. It's horrible. Basically, it's a comedy movie about the Holocaust, and it was talking about the regime in Italy. And basically, this Jewish guy falls in love with like a princess or some shit.
Hmm.
And then like in the movie, it shows like the like you know like the harassment that like you know the Jewish people face during that time, like you know vandalism and stuff like that, and segregation. And then
Right.
like half of the film is like in a concentration camp, and it's like played up for like laughs. And I'm not saying like you couldn't make a comedy film about the Holocaust, but it's so like whimsical and goofy, and it's just like it's just like you know like you could make a dark comedy about the Holocaust, but making it like this like lighthearted like hee type shit is just like it just makes it's I'm not offended by it. I'm just offended by how stupid it is, you know.
Yeah, I
And
think
like
that
and
that's
there's like
kind
a
of the point to just piss people off. Films like that are sometimes made to be bad on purpose. On purpose to just be like,
no it's
I'm
no
gonna make something
no that's not
controversial and
even
make it shitty. Hmm?
it wasn't even the point of the film because like the guy who made it like the main star he starred in a film like years later called Pinocchio and he's it's literally him like it was some Oscar bait shit about him like just like playing Pinocchio and he's acting like a little boy like he's like he's like one of those like he's one of those wholesome comedians I guess
Uh,
he's not trying to be offensive he's trying to be like whimsical and like charming
oh, so
and
he's not
that's the
being like
problem like
ironically like whimsical. He's just legitimately being like whimsical about the Holocaust.
yes he's that's my problem with it if it was
Mm,
like a dark comedy if it was like I don't know if it was like I don't know if it was like Airplane or Blazing Saddles and like, it was like some like fucked up like comedy about like the Holocaust and like there's like jokes about like gas chambers and shit, you know? And that would be one thing. But no, it's
mm,
like this guy they do like the doo music and shit about like the fucking like the concentration camp. It's like you're supposed to be like ha ha ha. What the
yeah,
fuck?
yeah. I don't know. It's just a lot of weird shit like that sometimes. There's this one band I really like called Oingo Boingo. I don't know if I've ever talked about it on the podcast before. But you know, it's Danny Elfman's band. You might know Danny Elfman because you know every single Tim
The
Burton movie
Batman.
has pretty much every Tim Burton movie has uh music done by him. But
Yeah, he
he
does like the
hmm?
yeah, I was gonna say he does the music like ooh like I don't fucking know
Yeah, I mean
like
you've heard his singing voice
you
if you've
can
seen
tell
if you've
like his musical style.
yeah that's more of his newer sound. He always had a strange sound, especially back when he did Oingo Boingo, which was his band in the 80s. Um, what I was saying, like, yeah, you've heard his singing voice if you've heard like Jack Skellington's singing voice in Nightmare Before Christmas. He provided that. But yeah, way before that, like around, in the '80s, he had the band Oingo Boingo, and they made this album called Only a Lad, and it was purposely made to be like, extremely controversial and extremely like, annoying like that. And most of it is still like, hits hard and, nowadays, and somewhat pungent, but most of it is just like, mellowed out, or like normal-ish statements nowadays, like, oh, capitalism's bad, the paranoid people, and all this other weird shit like that. There's the one notorious song from that album called Little Girls. Yeah. Now, if you've seen like
Little girls.
memes about like pedophiles, you've probably heard it. The I love little girls, they make me feel so good. That one. You've probably seen it. With Pedo Bear and
Momo's
Epstein
favorite
and all
song.
this shit. Huh?
I
Yeah, I
said
think.
Mamoru Oshi's favorite song.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's like one of the worst age songs out of that album, because pedophiles are still like somewhat controversial topics today. Uh, the whole point of this song that people tend to misunderstand is that it's not really praising pedophilia itself. It's just not only mocking it, but also like calling it out in like, um oh my god, what's the thing in Hollywood, where all these people are dating, like all these executives are dating like way younger people than them, or they're taking advantage of young girls and all that, and yeah, and shit like that, which is like, mocking the weirdos that do that shit, but people just see it and it's like, oh, the pedophile song. And every time I see people calling it the pedophile
Speaking
song, which it's like, man, no, it's not.
Speaking of pedophiles, let's talk about my profile picture.
Oh,
You taught me a lot about Urusei Yatsura, and when you well, I read about like I went on the wiki trying to learn about more about the characters,
oh, Chibi,
and I was
yeah.
reading about Chibi, like one of the stormtroopers, and I saw like one of the trivia facts, like, oh, he's a lolicon, and I asked you about it. He told me like there was like an episode where
Oh,
like a little girl's spirit or ghost or some shit is
hmm.
like in a flower, and like the other stormtroopers like accuse Chibi of being a pedo.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Chibi's
And I
sort of
was
like the
and I
one who
was
always
like,
gets shit on.
and when I was on the Urusei Yachts for a server, like from the beginning, I had made this stupid joke where I obsess over this stupid nothing character, and they were like, "Oh my god, it's the pedophile."
And
Because they just referred to Chibi as the pedophile.
I mean, because again, like these characters are like nothing. Like most of the stormtroopers are like nothing characters. So people cling on to like one or two things. Like Megane, the glasses guy, he's just like obsessed with Lom, and everybody's like, oh yeah, he's the one who's obsessed with Lom. Chibi's a pedophile. The other ones are there, shit like that.
The other one is the other one is fat, and the other one is
There,
nothing.
yeah.
Like
Yeah, I mean, those characters were purely made by Oshi, out of spite of the fans of the manga. Like, legitimately, that's the main reason why the Stormtroopers were made, just to make fun of people who were upset at him because of how much he changed from the manga. Which
so
sometimes.
Somewhat.
funny.
Hmm?
Megane's role was expanded just because Shigeru Chiba was interesting.
Oh yeah, but like I'm saying, like in the very beginning, he didn't really do a whole lot. None of them really did. They were just there to muck fans. Um,
Hmm.
yeah. Oh my god, what else? I was going to mention something. Shit, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh well.
All right, I have to get going, I think, guys. It's been real, though.
But yeah, I mean we're about
All right.
about to hit the hour mark, so yeah, we should probably end this off.
Oh,
All right.
all right, that works. Thanks.
Yeah, I guess That's it.
Let's just
Thank you very
let's just
much for
end let's just
joining
end the
us.
episode right now.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Bye.
This has been the second worst podcast, and I hope you have a horrible day.
Goodbye.